Welcome to another beautiful spring morning here in rural Montana. It's a beautiful day, and that makes it a good day to put this truck to the test, towing this trailer. And we're gonna tow the same stretch that we did using the Rivian with the same trailer, the same distance, the same everything, very similar conditions. It's a little chilly this morning, just a few degrees above freezing, but it's beautiful. So this will be a good trip to compare the Cybertruck and the Rivian for towing. Hooking up the trailer to the Cybertruck was very similar as it was with the Rivian. Not much of a difference here. I didn't run into an issue with the pin there as I did with the Rivian. So this hitch is basically the standard, wasn't any wider or something like the Rivian where I needed a slightly longer pin. So that worked out good. And one nice thing I found when I took this cover off down here, I never had this off before. It has a 7-way as well as a 4-way over here. I can't open it right now because the 7-way is plugged in, but there's a 4-way there as well. So especially if you rent the trailer from like U-Haul or so, they usually have 4-way plugs on them, not 7-ways. So there is one there as well. The Rivian doesn't have that. So that was kind of nice to see. That can come in handy at times for us. Maybe not necessarily, because pretty much all our trailers have 7-ways. Actually, this trailer here has a 6-way on it still. I will have to change that, so I'm using an adapter to 7-way right there. And I have to use a little different ball mount here than on the Rivian. The one on the Rivian had a bigger drop because the hitch is higher on the Rivian. Here on the Cybertruck it is relatively low, and you can see the chains right now are on the ground. So we got to see what the ride height is at, but it looks like we're about in medium ride height. Chains are on the ground, so we gotta change that. We gotta change the chains so that they're off the ground while we're towing. We just have to twist them so they get shorter. So right now I believe we're in medium ride height, and we don't want to go any higher, obviously. So yes, right here it shows medium ride height. And as I said, it's just above freezing right there. We are at 77%. So we should be fine. This is about a 60 mile-ish round trip roughly. So we'll find out. I will have to reset one of the trip meters to make sure we get that accurate. Also, when you hook up the trailer, this here pops up. So your trailer brake, you can adjust the gain right here. And the boost, the boost is basically one is or more or less no boost, I guess. I gotta read up on this particular one. But pretty much if the trailer is less than the truck, you would be on 1. If the trailer is about the same or slightly more than the truck in regards to weight is what I'm talking about, then you're on 2. If the trailer is quite a bit heavier than the truck, you would be on 3. That is how it usually is with most common brake controllers, sorry. Yeah, also this little icon here pops up right there when you're plugged in, so that tells you there is a trailer behind you. Maneuvering a little bit different with the 4-wheel steering. I have to get used to that a little bit. Backing up a little bit different. With the mirrors actually here, these mirrors are a little further out than those on the Rivian. Makes it a little bit better, but I found the cameras actually work even better on the screen here. So, well, here we see the driver's door, but this works pretty good on the side cameras here. You get a pretty good view here, almost a better view here than we get on this mirror over there. So that worked pretty good, but I gotta get used to the 4-wheel steering. It's a little bit different. Also, the hitch is quite far under the truck. Same with the Rivian, which that gives you very little leverage back there. If the hitch is further out, it swings out more. That can help with getting around sharp turns with the trailer. So this hitch, same with the Rivian, they're quite far under there. So we don't have much swing, but the big difference between the Rivian and the Cybertruck is this has the 4-wheel steering. So the back end actually swings more because of the four-wheel steering. So it's a little bit of getting used to, but heck, can't be so bad. I got it hooked up here, and well, we just got to get on the road and get going. I got a job to do at the same place we went to with the Rivian, so let's go. So the chains are off the ground now. All you do is you grab the chain and you twist them, and as you twist them they get shorter, and then you hook them back up. That's all you need to do to get them off the ground. You don't have to cut it or anything to make it shorter. Don't use any zip ties and weird stuff. Just twist them up like that, and that works wonderful. If you click the car icon down there, go to towing and hauling, you get this screen here, and there's a trailer light test. This is off, this is on, and then it will go through the lights, turn each individual light on, and you can check at the trailer if they work. So let's go back there. So you can see it does all the lights and turn signals. It goes pretty quick, I think. I mean, the lights come on briefly, then left, then right, turn signal, lights, turn signals. It goes pretty quick. And if you don't see them all, it's either the camera or actually a couple of those lights don't work. So like, I believe only one marker light works on each side. It's an older trailer and it needs a little more maintenance, but we have all the lights that we need to be legal and safe for towing. You can only enable the trailer light test while you're in park. If you're in drive, it will not enable. And as soon as we put it into drive, it will disable it automatically. The 77% equal 244 miles here on this fuel gauge. This is not the range predicted. This is just the fuel gauge. If you want predicted range, then you have to use the navigation. So here on the screen, that's pretty good. You can obviously see your trailer in the backup camera, and you have the side cameras. They're pretty good. We can see quite far back there. I was actually surprised how good these side cameras work for seeing beyond the trailer. They do at least as good as the mirrors, maybe I think even better. I can see more, I think, in the cameras than I can in the mirrors there. In the mirrors I see a little bit more of trailer. Here we see very little trailer, so it's amazingly good. I don't think it's quite as good as having actual extended mirrors for towing. That is probably even better, but this is not bad at all. I was quite surprised, especially with the cameras, how good that is. So when you don't have the rear view cameras up on the screen, then you get your rear view mirror. And that's kind of worthless. I mean, we're looking straight at the trailer doors there. This doesn't do anything at all. I believe we could disable that somehow in the settings, but I don't know, there should be maybe an easy way, or maybe that should be disabled. I guess if you have another trailer on there, you may be like an open trailer with snowmobiles or motorcycles or something, you could see something. For us right now, for me it's just kind of annoying. I just would like to swipe it away, but I don't think that is possible. I would have to go in the settings. I believe I could disable it. I'm not sure. Would have to look into that a little closer. The other thing I noticed, it switched to ride height low. It was set to medium. I didn't know it would lower itself from medium. So I gotta look into that, why and what it does, or if I can disable that. But one thing I definitely want to do is I want to go back there. I want to see in low if my trailer still sits level the way it's supposed to be, and make sure the chains are not anywhere near the ground, so we don't create sparks, because if we create sparks, that makes wildfires, and out here that is an extreme danger, so we don't want that. So I need to check back there because of the low ride height at this point. Okay, we're still good here, even with the low ride height. We got about 3 inches there to the ground, so that is not a big deal, but we had to make sure we're not dragging those chains, because wildfires are a real danger here in rural Montana any time of the year, not just in the hot, dry summertime. It's already dry in areas, so this is extremely important to make sure your chains are not dragging. Looking at the whole setup here, will look relatively nice and even. We're maybe an inch or so low in the front with the trailer there, so this could be changed with a different ball mount. If the truck likes to sit in low, it's better for aerodynamics probably anyway. So well, we'll keep going like this. I have to check into it if I can keep it in medium ride height or not, if that's even an option. So but right now it's not too bad. Like I said, the trailer may be an inch or two low in the front, so not too terrible. So going down the road here, it is just amazing. I pointed that out in another video. The truck runs straight down the road. Somebody pointed out, well, for 100,000 it needs to go straight down the road. Well, the price has nothing to do with it. A Raptor that comes up at almost $120,000 bounces all over the place, and is as bad or as good as a Toyota Tacoma for about half the price. Now, so what the difference is, right now we have a relatively nice road here, but we're towing the trailer, and I don't really need any steering input. I point it and it goes. It's really like, it's way better than the Rivian. The Rivian 2, if you go watch that video, the Rivian was kind of jerked around. This truck here is not being jerked around by the trailer. It goes down the road. Also, driving the over a mile of dirt road that is kind of washboard and pothole on top of being crowned, I just point the truck in the direction and it goes. I don't need to give any steering input. It doesn't pull, it doesn't jerk. It's just amazing. This is way better than pretty much anything else that I ever experienced. So it's way above and beyond, and you may not understand what I'm talking about because you don't drive it, but if you drive it, then you get to feel the difference. I mean, I don't have to hold the wheel, and not just for like 20 feet or so. So we've been going straight here. Now that the road is pulling a little bit, so I got it correct for that. But other than that, I really don't have to touch the wheel, and the trailer is back there, and the road is bumpy. I mean, it is amazing how this drives. This is, yes, way better than anything that I have experienced, especially with the trailer on it. This is super nice. Now on the interstate, we can go a little faster here, and this drives so nice. I mean, I'm just amazed. I'm just real easy holding on here to the wheel. It's really not, there's no real steering input required. It does super nice. We go through these bumps, the truck just keeps going. Oh, beautiful. The Rivian was kind of all over the place. Let's see here. Really no big deal. Wow, at this speed in the Rivian, I did not feel comfortable anymore. Let's go a little higher. We're allowed to go 80 here. Wow, I don't even feel the trailer back there. Even through the road bumps here, we got some bumps, no problem. This trailer is not ripping this truck around like the Rivian got ripped around. Wow, it's super smooth. Let's go slower here again because well, the trailer tires are not rated for 80 miles an hour. So we don't want to blow out the tires. Wow, that was pretty amazing. I mean, yes, in the Rivian at about 75, that was about it, if I remember right. And then I ended up going like 65. Most of the time when I drove my diesel truck, we were between 65 or between 55 and 65. Unless I was in a real hurry, then I would maybe do 70, 75 with the trailer. But most of the time I was slower too. So, and here at, well, this is like, wow, amazing. Really, not really any steering effort or anything required here with the trailer. It's it's amazing, and it's a little bouncy. We're bouncing around a little bit, but wow, this is really like nothing. Holy moly, I'm impressed. I mean, the way this truck goes, I'm so impressed. This is unlike any other truck I ever drove, especially with a trailer at these speeds. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm amazed. So this definitely rides much better than the Rivian does with the trailer here, with the same exact trailer. yeah, I'm amazed. I just, yeah, I've said it already many times, but this is pretty darn cool. And I'm almost having a tendency to go too fast here, so I think I need to put the camera down and set the cruise control so I don't go too fast with this trailer, because I don't want to blow out the tires on that trailer. I have arrived. Wow, I'm impressed. I mean, this truck didn't get jerked around by the trailer at all. The Rivian was pulled all over the place, couldn't go really fast. It didn't feel safe in the Rivian. Nothing like that here with the Cybertruck. This feels like my 1-ton dually, except that my 1-ton dually is old and worn out and I gotta work the steering quite a bit. But the 1-ton dually doesn't get jerked around by the trailer. Neither does this truck. So this is great. I mean, wow. I'm very, very impressed with this truck towing. Now, let's look at the stats here. So, what we did here, there's since last charge, we did 23 miles and the distance is 23 miles. I did reset this trip at the bottom of the driveway because since last charge, here, this number is a little bit higher because this includes maneuvering around in the driveway. And then this is at the bottom of the driveway. So this is the actual driving, 812 watt-hours per mile. So we pretty much almost doubled the consumption. It depends a little bit, obviously. I drove a little bit slower than I would with the truck by itself. But yeah, it's about double the consumption of driving without the trailer. And this is kind of how it's been and what we expected, that, yeah, you cut range into half, basically, with a trailer towing. And this trailer is relatively boxy, so it's heavy. It's about 5,500 pounds, so it's relatively heavy. But it's a good example, I think. I mean, this truck could tow more than that. It's rated at 11,000 pounds, so we could tow twice that weight. Not sure how much the weight would influence it. I think the aerodynamics are almost a bigger factor. Also, we got here with 62%, and let's see here, that's 197 miles. So we used, 47 miles of fuel for traveling 23 miles. And what is that? So this is about double, right? And that makes sense again, because we're definitely using double of what we would use without the trailer. But important to know is this here is a fuel gauge. This is not your range, okay? Also on the way home, I need to use the navigation and see how accurate the navigation is with towing the trailer. I haven't used the navigation going here because for some reason this is no longer in my favorites. I must have deleted it at some point because I know I can make it here regardless of whatever I drive. And I don't need a full tank. So, but yeah, impressed how it drives. And so because of this driving so great, and we actually got free supercharging for 2 months because Tesla has nobody to install our gateway for the Tesla PowerShare. So they gave us 2 months free supercharging. So I have to take this truck instead of the Rivian for my island park trip that I still haven't done. I need to go there. I need to take this trailer along. And it'll be still a close call making it to Butte, but well, at least there's free charging. So, and this here drives so much nicer with the trailer. But heck, now I gotta get to work here. I got a job to do. That's why I came here. Gotta make some money to pay for this truck, right? All right, job is done. It's time to get back home. And, well, this time I will use the navigation so we can see what it predicts and what we actually get home with. So we know how accurate the navigation will be. There's one thing I wanted to show you real quick because I always carry all this camera equipment with me. I always need spare batteries. I always have to charge. And with the Cybertruck now being USB-C, and also the Rivian is USB-C. Everything else was USB-A before. USB-A. I have this bunch of cables, and there's always a huge mess. And well, this is kind of how it looks like. This is only 2 of the many cables I have. And it's always a mess and a struggle. And so I needed to find something different. Also, we can charge wirelessly here for the phones, but the passengers back there sometimes need a cable as well. So what I found is these here. Look at these. These are so cool. They're magnetic. They're USB cables. They got a fabric type around it, and they're magnetic. They want to coil up naturally like this. Those are really cool. And rather than having a huge mess, it looks nicely like this when they're put away, coiled up. No huge mess. You can actually take stuff in and out of your center console, and they're not in the way. Also, this gray one here, this sucker is 2 meters long. That is like, what, over 6 feet or something. And then this one here is 1.5 meters, which is a foot or so shorter, maybe 2 feet shorter, whatever. So, but they're super cool. And I found those, they're from MagTame, from this company here. And they're a magnetic charging data cable. And they were great. I tried all the others, and I have such a mess with all these cables that I have, and I found these, and I'm so happy with those. And you can get them in all kinds of different colors. So there's black, silver, blue. There's 1 meter, 1.5, and 2 meters. There is all kinds of different connectors. So we have the USB-C to USB-C here. That's the 2 meter long. That is this one here. That this actually charges my GoPro battery pack right there. So it also works for any cell phone, even the new iPhones. And then we have this one here that has the USB-C to Lightning for the older iPhones. So yeah, these things here are a game changer. Keep stuff clean. You can have cables in your center console without having a mess with these MagTame USB cables. And because I like them so much, I contacted the company, and I was wondering if they would give us a discount code so you can purchase these from MagTame and get a discount. And they said yes. And so down below in the description, there's a link to their website. Use this link and use the discount code down below, and you get 10% off these cables. And like I said, I'm super happy with those. We just purchased these two to begin with, but I'm gonna get more, and I'm just gonna throw them in each vehicle we have, because they stay nicely coiled up like this. This is so great, and they come easily apart, just like that, but then they easily coil up again. See, just with one hand right now. So, and this is much cleaner in here than what we used to have with these cable here. These cables is just a bundle, and it's always been a mess. And some of these cables that I had were so short you couldn't even really use them. Some of them are so long you just have a huge mess. And with these MagTames, you just get the longest cable and coil it up, and you have it all. It's really cool. So I love these suckers. MagTame magnetic charging data cables. There's a link down below in the description. Click on that link and use the discount code and get 10% off at MagTame on these charging cables here. All right, now we need to get back home. It is now 11:32. It warmed up a little bit, 53 degrees. We're showing a range here of 193 miles. No, not a range, sorry. A fuel gauge, a fuel amount. So that is 61%. We still got the trailer hooked up, so that's why we got the trailer brake showing here. And so now we want to navigate home. There we go. And so it tells us takes 33 minutes, 25 miles, and we should get there with 44%. So hopefully that is correct. So 44% is the goal. Let's go back here, trips. And so this shows 23 miles, and the navigation says 25 miles. So there's obviously a 2-mile difference. I've been on the property here and drove maybe 100 yards over to another place here. So it's not 2 miles, so we'll see. I'm not sure. I mean, these things are not perfect, right? But basically important for us is to make sure the 44%. Can we get there with 44%? We're at 61 right now. We started at 77, is that what it is? So 16%. We're at 61 right now. 44 comes pretty darn close, doesn't it? So, that is interesting. We'll see if we can make it. So, well, let's go. figured out where the miles difference came in. I didn't pay attention to where it actually routed me, because there's two ways to get home, and one is actually going on the interstate a little bit longer, which makes it a little bit faster, and the other one is taking a shorter drive on the interstate and then take a regular highway. And because we're going slower and we got to go through a town, small town, but there's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, so that takes a little bit longer, but that's probably where the 2 miles difference come in. And we're just gonna drive the same way back that we came. Pretty sure that's what I done with the Rivian here a few weeks ago, so we're doing that same thing again, so it's a little bit more comparable. For now, I'm still on the interstate here, past a couple travel trailers pulled by some trucks, and Cybertruck's doing wonderful. And we are going 70 here, so I got the cruise control set to 70, and it's running smooth, it's easy to handle. I can't feel the trailer jerking around back there, and we got some bumps and dips here in the road, and it's just amazing how nice this really does, compared to the Rivian especially, and some other trucks too that I have driven with trailers. This does actually really great, so super happy with that. So well, I'm about to get off up here, and well, I probably see you at home. Well, we're on the last mile here. This is a 35-mile-an-hour road, but with the trailer I'm always going a little bit slower. I don't want to get all the stuff messed up in there. But this is a relatively rough road, but well, the Cybertruck, it's just amazing. You just basically point and it goes straight, which also leads off the road, so but yeah, you're just going straight here. It's a little washboardy right now, but here we got a longer straight. Let's see here, pretty much can set it. And even with all these bumps and things, the truck just runs really straight. It's amazing. I got some oncoming traffic here, so I need to get over a little more, but really without any effort, without any real corrections here. This goes really nice. And this road is heavily crowned too. You may not be able to see that, but they grade that so for water runoff. But heck, this goes super duper with the trailer back there and with all these bumps and potholes here. Yeah, it is pretty amazing. It goes a little slight bit right, but like I said, it's heavily crowned, and wow. Driven many trucks with trailers, and yeah, they don't really go straight around here on this road especially. They are bouncing all over, and with the trailer bouncing back there, it's yeah, it's hard to drive with most vehicles. The Rivian was pretty bad here. The Cybertruck is excellent. Pulling in at home, so we made it. It's 57 degrees out. It's 12:11. I think it said 12:13 arrival or something. Now it's 12:12, and it showed 44% estimated arrival. And here we are. I guess we're not all the way up yet, but we're here at 44%. So the estimation was right on. So that is pretty cool. Yep, here we are. Wow, so amazing. And this is the other cool thing, you just take your seatbelt off and it goes right into park. Wow. Let's look here real quick too. So you can change the right scroll wheel trailer brake. To brake, tilt the scroll wheel to the right, replaces follow distance control. So you can use this instead of for adjusting the follow distance control. You can use it as the trailer brake to apply trailer brakes, or you can press this button down here. So those are your options. Then the other thing we have is adaptive regenerative braking. Automatically increases regenerative braking to provide more stopping power based on the estimated weight of the trailer and cargo. So that would add a little more Regen, if possible. I had this off on the way there. On the way back, I had it on. I didn't really notice a difference. It pretty much maxes out regen regardless, it seems like. So this could be a difference, maybe going downhill where it would apply a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't noticed really a difference. Another thing I want to point out, Tesla has these information things right there, right? So you can like press and get some information on certain things. And so like the trailer boost here, they don't really specify the weights. Like I said, usually 1 is if the trailer is lighter or up to about the same weight, roughly you're on 1. You go to 2 if the trailer is about the same weight, maybe a little heavier, and to 3 if the trailer is quite a bit heavier than the tow vehicle. Those are the usual adjustments for that. So, but yeah, it's interesting, all these options that the Cybertruck gives you here for towing. That is really cool. So, but now we need to look at the stats real quick and see where we're at. So here, the current drive, 23 miles. So it's exactly the same distance coming back. Duration, 39 minutes, okay. 861 watt-hours per mile. A little bit higher, huh? A little bit higher. But that said, going there, I had the climate control off. I didn't need any heat or cooling or anything. Here on the way back now it's a little warmer, so I had climate control on. So that would affect it some. So since last charge, that was this morning, we have, it shows a total of 47 miles. Yes, about 23 miles times 2. We average about 844. That includes obviously all the maneuvering around here and at the place that I was at where I worked. And then the total trip, we got 46 miles here, used 39 kilowatt hours, and we averaged 837. So this is a little bit lower because it doesn't have all the maneuvering that I have here at home. That is not included there. And then if we look at this here, this is the lifetime, and this is nice in the Tesla. You can give this a name besides trip B. And so, well, we have 1,556 miles on it so far. Used 777 kilowatt hours. Isn't that a lucky number or what? And so the average here is 499 watt-hours per mile. That is not too bad. This includes the trip we just had here with 837, 844, 861, even up here on the way back. So these higher numbers are included in this average. So overall, we are not doing too bad. Now the Rivian has a nice feature where it allows you, or where it shows you the average speed you drove on your trip. And the Cybertruck doesn't have that. That was kind of cool to see in the Rivian, because our average speed was very low with the Rivian. It was between 40 and 45 or something, 46 maybe. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it was relatively low, and that included the driving on the interstate both ways. So with the Cybertruck now today, I was going faster. I had the cruise control set to 70. I was also going the full 45 on the highway here on the frontage road coming over this way. So we were going overall faster because the truck rides so nicely, even with the trailer back there. The truck is not getting jerked all over the place. Really great. So yeah. Well, I'll be using this truck for my island park trip because it tows so much nicer than the Rivian, and we have free supercharging right now. So I gotta take advantage of that before the free supercharging expires here. But overall, it's great. It's an amazing truck. I mean, I don't know, it's amazing. So now the only question is, can we make it to well, Butte, not Island Park. We got to get to Butte from here. That's 150 miles. We're using, well, about 850 watt-hours per mile. We have 123 kilowatt-hour battery. So, well, it's close. It's close, just like with the Rivian. The Rivian has a little bigger battery, but it had a little higher consumption too. And I was going 70 with the Cybertruck. So if I go 55, that was the plan with the Rivian, to just drive it at 55 so we can make it. If I drive this at 55, I suspect my consumption will be lower, and we should make it without charging from here to Butte, or actually to Rocker, which is just before Butte. It's about, actually it's about 3 or 4 miles less than the Butte supercharger. Out in Rocker is a new supercharger, a version 3 that goes 250 kilowatts, so we can charge even faster. So that's where we need to get to, there is no charging from here to there, or at least no DC fast charging. Well, there is in Missoula. We could charge there. That cuts about 30 miles off. So then we only would have 120 miles to go from there to Butte. So I have to see. I gotta once I start this trip, I will see what I do. But this here had pretty good efficiency. Especially the average for this total trip is 837 watt-hours per mile. That is pretty darn good. That's a good sign that if we're going slower, we can make that Island Park trip really easy, or well, not easy, but comfortable. Well, I guess that is it for today. Again, me especially, I love the Cybertruck. My 16-year-old daughter has been driving it the other day. She drove to town and back, went to the movies, and obviously she loved it. It's easy, it's familiar to her, and for her, except for the size, the driving part itself, she says, is easier than the Rivian. The Rivian she likes better because it's a little smaller. This is a little bigger, or feels bigger anyway, and so she's a little, yeah, because of the size, that is her concern. But the driving fact is she likes to drive this better than the Rivian. So well, we're impressed by it. We still feel like it was worth spending the money and getting to use it already, rather than wait, who knows, another 6 months to a year until the $80,000 version comes out. So we're still happy with this. Well, in any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.